At 10:57 on the night of Wednesday, July 8, police received an emergency report from a residential area of Bradford. A 28-year-old man had suffered a life-threatening gunshot wound near the junction of Gaythorne Road and Parsonage Road in West Bowling. His name was Mohammed Hasan. He was rushed to hospital in critical condition. For the next 11 days, Mohammed remained alive while detectives made arrest after arrest, recovered the vehicle, and expanded their investigation from Bradford to Suffolk. One man was charged with attempted murder. Another man was still being sought by police. Then on Sunday, July 19, Mohammed Hasan died. The shooting investigation had become a murder investigation. 9 people had been arrested, but the police appeal was far from over. Before continuing, this video is based only on information released publicly by West Yorkshire Police and established news organizations. Nobody arrested, charged, or wanted for questioning should be considered guilty unless proven guilty in a court of law. Several important details about this investigation have not been released, and this video will not fill those gaps with rumors or theories. This is the verified story of what happened to Mohammed Hasan. On Wednesday, July 8, Gaythorne Road was the location of a serious emergency. Shortly before 11 at night, officers responded to a report that a man had suffered a gunshot wound close to the junction with Parsonage Road. The injured man was Mohammed Hasan. Police later confirmed that he had suffered serious life-threatening injuries. He was taken to hospital, where his condition remained critical. What happened immediately before the shooting has not been made public. Police have not announced why Mohammed was on Gaythorne Road, whether he had arranged to meet someone, or whether he knew any of the people later arrested. They have also not publicly identified the person who fired the shot. Those questions remain part of an active investigation, but within approximately 2 days of the shooting, the police operation had already started to expand. A man in his 20s was arrested in West Bowling on suspicion of assisting an offender. During that part of the investigation, police also recovered the vehicle. Another man in his 20s was arrested in the Ipswich area, also on suspicion of assisting an offender. The recovery of a vehicle was publicly confirmed, but police have not explained what connection, if any, the vehicle had to the shooting. It has not been described as a getaway vehicle. It has not been confirmed that Mohammed was ever inside it. Any claim about exactly how it was involved would be speculation. By Saturday, July 11th, the investigation had moved beyond the arrests. West Yorkshire Police released a public appeal asking for help locating 24-year-old Luqman Khan from Bradford. Police said they wanted to speak to him in connection with the shooting. They believed he had traveled to Suffolk and could have been in the Ipswich or Felixstowe area. That wording is important. Police did not say that Khan had been convicted of anything. They did not publicly say that he fired the shot. They did not say that they knew exactly where he was. They said they wanted to locate him as part of their investigation and ask anyone with information about his whereabouts to contact them. The connection between Bradford and Suffolk soon became a major part of the case. On the evening of Saturday, July 11th, a 35-year-old Bradford man was arrested in Ipswich on suspicion of attempted murder. 3 other men, aged 21, 34, and 36, were arrested in Ipswich on suspicion of assisting an offender. Those 3 men were later released on police bail. The 2 men who had previously been arrested in Bradford and Ipswich on suspicion of assisting an offender were also released on bail while inquiries continued. Being released on bail does not mean that somebody has been convicted. It also does not necessarily mean that the person has been cleared. It means the investigation is continuing under conditions determined by the authorities. At this stage, Mohammed Hasan was still alive. He remained in hospital with life-threatening injury while detectives continued making arrests and searching for information. On Monday, July 13, police announced another arrest. A 21-year-old man from Bradford had been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. 2 days later, on Wednesday, July 15, police identified that man as Hasnain Akhter. Akhter was charged with the attempted murder of Mohammed Hasan and remanded in custody. That change was announced while Mohammed was still alive. According to the latest official public information used for this video, the charge publicly recorded against Akhter remains attempted murder. Police have not announced in the source reviewed that it has been changed to a murder charge. A charge is an accusation, not proof of guilt. Hasnain Akhter is entitled to the presumption of innocence unless and until guilt is established through the legal process. While this was happening, the effort to locate Luqman Khan continued. Police repeated their belief that he had traveled to Suffolk and could have been in Ipswich or Flixtown. They appealed for information from anyone who knew where he was. They also asked witnesses to come forward. Detectives were especially interested in dashcam footage, home security recording, and mobile phone footage that could help establish what happened around Gaythorne Road. Then come the developments that transformed the entire investigation. On Sunday, July 19, 11 days after the shooting, Mohammed Hasan died from his injuries. The following day, West Yorkshire Police announced that detectives were now conducting a murder investigation. By then, 9 people had been arrested in connection with the case. 4 had been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. 5 had been arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender. 8 of the 9 people had been released on conditional bail. Hasnain Akhter remained in custody after being charged with attempted murder. And despite the arrest, the public effort to locate Luqman Khan continued. Behind these figures was a family that had spent 11 days waiting beside a hospital bed. Mohammed Hasan's family described him as a loving husband, father, son, and brother. They said he helped other people and called him the life and soul of every room he entered. Their statement changed the way this story should be understood. Mohammed was not simply the unnamed victim of a shooting on Bradford Road. He was 28-year-old. He was a husband. He was a father. He was somebody's son and somebody's brother. He had a family hoping he would survive while the investigation continued around them. After his death, the family appealed directly to the community. They asked anyone with information to speak to the police and said communities needed to come together to prevent something like this from happening again. Detective Chief Inspector Dan Bates from the Homicide and Major Inquiry Team also urged people to put aside what he described as misplaced loyalties. He asked people with information about the shooting, the people involved, or the location of Luqman Khan to report it. But despite the number of arrests, many of the central questions remain unanswered publicly. Police have not announced a motive. They have not publicly identified who fired the shot. They have not explained whether Mohammed was deliberately approached or whether the shooting followed an expected confrontation. They have not said whether more than one person was present when it happened. They have not explained whether Mohammed knew any of the people arrested. They have not disclosed why Suffolk became important beyond their belief that Luqman Khan had traveled there and the arrests made in the Ipswich area. They have not explained the exact importance of the recovered vehicle, and they have not announced whether they believe the shooting was planned. These missing details create question, but they do not give anyone permission to create answers. Rumors shared online can damage a police investigation, wrongly accuse innocent people, and cause more pain to a grieving family. The facts that can currently be reported are seriously enough. Mohammed Hasan was shot shortly before 11 at night on July 8. He remained in critical condition for 11 days. Police arrested 9 people while investigating what happened. A 21-year-old man was charged with attempted murder while Mohammed was still alive. 8 arrested people were released on a conditional bail. Police continued trying to locate another man they wanted to speak to in connection with the investigation. Then Mohammed died and the case became a murder inquiry. The next important development could come from police evidence. It could come from surveillance footage. It could come from a witness who has not yet spoken, or it could come from somebody who knows where Luqman Khan can be located. But until police release further information, the unanswered question must remain unanswered. Anyone with genuine information should contact West Yorkshire Police directly rather than posting accusation or unverified claims online. Information can be provided also anonymously through Crime Stoppers. Mohammed Hasan's family waited 11 days for an outcome they desperately hoped would never come. They are now asking the community for help. 9 arrests have already been made. The search for answers continues. And somewhere between Gaythorne Road in Bradford and the investigation expansion into Suffolk lies the complete story of what happened on the night Mohammed Hasan was shot. For now, that complete story is known only to the people who were there. This video was produced for documentary, educational, and public interest purpose using publicly available police information and established news reporting. All allegations remain allegations unless proven in court. Please keep the discussion respectful toward Mohammed Hasan, his family, and every person connected to the ongoing investigation.